Hello, good morning. It's Phil and Heather, and we are out with our Canon R7s. Both of us are using the 100 to 500. I've got a 1.4 teleconverter on mine. I don't know if I'm going to keep it on mine all morning, but we're in bird photography mode now. It's late summer now, or almost the end of July, and that's when birding is not quite as good. That's why I've been doing so much macro lately, because it's kind of macro season right now. But Heather likes birds and I like birds too, so we came out to do birds. We started out this morning just as we were driving out of the neighborhood, and I saw a beautiful yard bunny. Here is that yard bunny, just a absolutely beautiful specimen, and it was early in the morning and there was still some dew and water on the grass in our neighbor's yard, and you can see it glistening in the morning sun and bokeh-fied in the background. Then we came down here to one of our regular spots and we saw a few birds, a gray catbird and a prairie warbler for sure. Here are my gray catbird photographs, and I really wish I did not put the teleconverter on this morning. The camera struggles to focus a little bit in low light, and the teleconverter makes low light even lower. So I probably would have done better without it, like Heather did. And here comes Heather's shot of the gray catbird, and you can see it's noticeably sharper, and I don't think that's because the teleconverter made my shots less sharp. I think it made my camera focus a little bit worse. Now, here is Heather's beautiful photograph of this bunny. This is a much more mature bunny. This was not in the neighborhood. This was at the park. And here is a prairie warbler, my photograph of the prairie warbler, and you can see it's perched on a blackberry bush, and the blackberries are not worth eating anymore. Earlier in the year, when we got photos of the birds on the blackberries were really beautiful, but now they're not so pretty and not so good to eat. Now this is a lifer. This is Heather's photograph of a female cerulean warbler, and neither one of us had ever photographed one of these before, and we thought it was a white-eyed vireo at the time we were getting the shot, and we didn't get good shots and we just went on. But if we had realized what we were shooting, we would have stayed longer. And after that we spotted a red-tailed hawk, and we got a couple of perched pictures of it, as well as some in-flight shots, which we're really excited about. Here are Heather's photographs of the red-tailed hawk in flight, and she did a really great job of capturing great photographs of it as it flew. Look at this one flying right at her, and she can see both of its eyes really sharp, and it is calling as it flies. Really, really cool. And I had smartly gotten out of the car and gotten way closer to where the bird was, and all of my shots came out terrible. Heather had the best angle by staying close to the car. Now, often when we're at this location, we photograph indigo buntings, but this is a juvenile blue grosbeak, which is kind of the other blue bird. And here is a variegated fritillary, a butterfly that Heather made a photograph of right out the window of the car using her 100-500 at 500 millimeters. We have come to another location, and this is the sunflower field where we were for a little while the other night, and we saw some indigo bunting. So now there's more light, so we're going to try to get some of those. The first bird that we found and photographed there at the sunflower field was this song sparrow. And the song sparrow wasn't really the bird we were looking for to photograph there, but it did turn out beautiful, getting close-up photographs of the song sparrow with the sunflowers bokeh-fied in the background. Those first three photos were my photos, and these next ones are Heather's. Here the song sparrow is singing, and you can see on the bottom right of Heather's photographs it has her name there, and on my photographs it says nothing at the bottom right. But we enjoyed photographing the song sparrow there at the famous sunflower field in Ooltewah, and the next birds that we find in the sunflower field are much more interesting. We've been having fun here at the sunflower field. Mostly we've seen song sparrows, but we've also seen some indigo buntings. I don't think I've gotten a shot of you.
I haven't.
But we've also seen American goldfinch, so that's pretty cool. One landed really close to us, but it was a female, so not as colorful. And it's really sunny, but we found a shady spot. The blue bird we were actually there to photograph was the indigo bunting, but I ended up finding and photographing a male blue grosbeak. So that was really cool to be able to see one. I haven't seen hardly any of these this year, but earlier on this same day, if you recall, we photographed a juvenile blue grosbeak. So that was pretty neat. And then really cool to see an adult male in breeding plumage on sunflowers, an adult male American goldfinch, that is. This little guy flew by for just a little while, and Heather and I were both able to nab a few photos of him on the sunflowers. And there was also a female American goldfinch, slightly less colorful, but still a very beautiful bird. And of all the birds, this one came the closest to us, so we got some pretty close shots of it. Here are Heather's photographs of the adult male American goldfinch in breeding plumage, and she was really happy to see one. I'm not sure if she's ever even photographed one of these before. And here are Heather's photographs of the female American goldfinch. And like I say, this is the bird that came the closest to us, so we were able to bag some really sharp photographs of her. Heather and I are walking all the way around the field. We're all the way at the back of it now, and behind that is a barbed wire fence and just a regular field. We've seen some other birds. I saw a juvenile eastern bluebird and got a pretty decent picture of it on a wire and a post. Here is the juvenile eastern bluebird that we photographed. Here's my photo on the post, and the juveniles have the spots where the adults don't, and the adults have more color. Here is Heather's photograph of that same juvenile eastern bluebird. Hers is on the barbed wire fence that was right there beside the post, and we were really happy to get photographs of them. Now, Heather made this photograph of me. They had a Jeep out in the field, and I wish I could tell you I was actually making a photo during this. I was being a total poser while Heather made my photo. Well, it was a tough one today. Hard to find birds to photograph, and we were tenacious though, and after going to 3 different locations, I think we ended up getting enough shots to put together a video. And we appreciate you guys joining us and watching. Maybe you can give us a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see some more. And as always, we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye from all over Hamilton County, Tennessee.